Hey, what's going on, guys? Destructinator here, and today I have a little bit of a different video, and basically the reason it's different is because it's sort of a controversial topic, and I don't really do videos about this kind of stuff that often, especially since you can just, it's controversial. You'll offend half your audience, and the other half will get offended at the half that got offended, and then there's going to be an all-out comment war and things like that. But I feel like it's something that, a lot of people have talked about, and given sort of what's been going on recently, just in terms of the YouTube, Advanced Warfare and stuff, I figured I should talk about it. And basically what it is, it's the supply drop problem. And basically, a lot of people, whoever you ask will have a different opinion. There's, people who do these videos where they just open supply drops or legendary things and react to them. And, whether or not the reactions are fake or, that's a whole thing entirely. But some people really, really like those videos, and that's all they make. You go to someone's channel, it's just supply drop opening, legendary wager, deleting whatever, and a lot of people get mad at them for that. And at the end of the day, it's like you can sort of do whatever you want. It's your YouTube channel, it's your thing, and a lot of people have gotten very successful on YouTube, at least, from doing those kind of videos. I mean, they've grown a lot. Their audience loves them. But then the other problem is that people sort of see that growth and see that thing, and they say, oh, let me do that, let me try it on my channel. And I'm guilty of it as well. I've done a few supply drop videos on mine, and frankly, they're fun to watch every once in a while. I won't discount the fact that some are interesting. People watch CSGO case openings, people watch FIFA pack openings. It is pretty much the same thing. But, when you do every single video, it's just that. You can't, I don't see how people can be so excited about fucking knee pads. Like, it's not, it's not the case. It's just not true. And so, a lot of people are like, oh, these guys, why are they doing this? It's so stupid. And yes, maybe, I don't know, it worked for them, and then people try to do it on their channel, it doesn't work for them, and then some people get mad at that, some people just get mad at it in general. And the reason it doesn't work is because you're sort of serving a different audience. Now that we're however many months into this godforsaken game, it's not gonna work to sort of just switch all of a sudden between what you've been doing, and for my friends it's pub stomping or gameplay-esque things. For other people might be whatever. You can't switch from that to thing. If you guys have seen Carnage recently, they uploaded a few of my supply drop openings, and that's all they've been uploading. And it's like, I don't understand why. Apollo and and it's not just Apollo. We all want to sort of get in on that juice, if you will. And if you look from a growth perspective, Carnage is really growing. But I mean, the last video, more dislikes than likes. That's crazy. That's ridiculous. And Apollo's been really busy, with off at college and all that stuff. So it's not even his fault. He's probably scheduled to upload all of these, a month in advance. So it's not even that. But it's crazy to think that some people really, really hate it so much. And in my mind, I do think it's kind of dumb. I don't understand the value proposition behind it. I watch some of these videos. I don't see how they're entertaining. You can do a wager, you can delete whatever, you can do thing. I never saw how it's entertaining. To me, the reactions are all, forced and whatever. And like I said, a couple is fine, but when every single video is that, or you start doing, supply drop glitches, or, it's like, I don't see the point. And at the end of the day, in my mind, the reason you guys will say, well, Nader, your how to get supply drop video had 600,000 views, you did that day one. And I did. And, that was because I thought that's different, though. That's not just opening supply drops. I thought, people would want to get supply drops and learn how to get them. And at the beginning of the game, that's how we thought you got them, by dying. And it was true, you got more when you died more often. So, it's a little bit of a different thing. But, I'm talking more about this supply drops that have been, recently, where it's opening them and, things like that. It's different. And, if I had seen that, if I had been more, savvy about trends and whatever, I would have seen that at the beginning and just done that from the beginning of Advanced Warfare, probably. And, be up there with some of these guys who are, so huge now because they've been doing supply drops and things like that. But, at the end of the day, in my mind, when you upload those kind of videos and when that's your sort of whole content basis, you really shut yourself off to a lot of other things. I mean, you see these guys will upload a commentary every once in a while, or a gameplay, and it gets a 10th the views, a fifth the views of all these other supply drop videos. And, Black Ops 3, if Black Ops 3 doesn't have supply drops, I'm sure they'll find some equivalent. That's not the issue, but maybe all these people don't like that equivalent, so all of a sudden now you have these people who are subscribed to you for this one particular thing, they don't like you anymore, and they're not subscribed, in my mind. I don't believe, those people are subscribed for the actual person, and some may very well may be, but in general, they're subscribed just because they want to see someone screaming at, you know, pixels. They don't care who's doing the supply drop opening. You know, that the person opening the supply drop can be replaced as long as they're enthusiastic, emphatic, whatever. Not that hard to replace them. And I think that sucks. You know, for my channel, I want people to be subscribed for me and for what I do, and, you know, that kind of thing. And that's a long-term goal and what have you, and you do need to capitalize on trends and things like that to grow and to do all that kind of stuff. But hey, that's what I think about the whole situation. You know, if you guys want to hear more about what I think, I don't know, let me know. We can talk about it in the comment section below. Leave a comment, let me know what you think. You know, something more than just, oh, they're fucking stupid, or, oh, they're great, why are you hating? Something more substantive, you know, give me a reason why you think one way or the other. I don't want to see just, you know, hate comments or like, oh, whatever, because it's just not beneficial. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure to drop a like if you did. My name is Sharknator, and I'm out. Peace.